Hey buddies, here we got our 25th episode of our Colorado Avalanche franchise mode here on the PS4, guys. In the last episode, we went in and finished up the first round of the playoffs, and unfortunately, we ended up losing to the Nashville Predators in the first round in, actually, I can't even remember. It was a day ago or so, or 2 days ago, but I think we lost in 6 games. Here's what the playoff tree is looking like. Yes, we did lose in 6 games. It was definitely a close series, but Nashville was the better team, and we weren't playing like our former Cup champion self. So in this episode, usually a lot of changes need to be made after this kind of a loss. Like, you just won the Stanley Cup, and now you just lost to, although you played against a very good team, and I mean, Nashville could potentially win the Cup, and then like it's like, oh, we might have been the second best team. Honestly, the way we played, we didn't play we didn't play to our best the way that we should have. And there's a lot of moves that you guys have been calling for, especially that top 2 defenseman to play with, Tyson Barrie. So, and also the movement of Erik Johnson. I have pre-scouted a bit. I can't actually make any trades until the draft or even just before it. But I looked at Stat Central, and I used other teams' stats to look at the actual player stats of during the season for these defensemen. As for points and plus minus, and then I looked for like the best overall guys and young guys, and then I looked at the teams to see where they were in the standings and what made sense. So a couple teams actually right now in the playoffs have a couple defensemen that I'm interested in. So depending on if they win the Cup, then say I wouldn't want to go and go trade for a top-notch defenseman that they just won the Cup with. That wouldn't make any sense. So I'm trying to make it fair, but also, I mean, I've looked at a couple things on our team and who hasn't performed. I'm not sure about Marchand yet and stuff like that, but we'll all figure that out when it goes to the resigns. This is going to be a longer episode than usual. Obviously, I like doing longer episodes, just like you guys. Mostly you like watching them because, I don't know, just they're longer, and it gives me more time to do stuff. So let me quickly go to the draft, we'll go sim up to the draft, see how the playoffs finish. We are going to be, I have pre-scouted a bit, the actual draft itself, and we can actually go to the AHL to see how they're going, because I believe we have a couple guys down there, so we can just watch them. But I have pre-scouted a couple guys. There's not really anybody in the higher rounds that I'm interested. I did find a couple of defensemen. It's really only defensemen that I see. We'll have to look for some more. How about forwards, defensive, what the heck? American defensemen for 3 weeks. We'll do that instead of a month because we don't have much time, so I might want to look around a bit more. A couple losses there, and San Diego... we're going to lose. That's unfortunate. Wow, we lost. As soon as we started watching the games, it's just like, oh gosh, the GM's watching. Now we have to lose every game, so then he doesn't think we're insanely good or something, or he doesn't expect too much out of us. I don't care, guys. Just go win instead of lose 4 games in a row. Holy crap. Okay, so anything else we can scout? Maybe some forwards. How about some Russians? We've had luck with the past with Russians. 5 weeks forwards, just like the Yakubov guy that we got. Sergei Yakubov, he actually, with the stats he had this season, he got lots of offense. Not the best plus-minus, I think it was like -10 or something. He could still potentially jump. And then we have quite a few other guys, Pavel Vorobyev and Grundstrom and Nicholson and Daly. We have tons of forwards. So that's why I will be even looking to... there's one forward I'm looking to trading, and there's one I'm looking to just releasing. Well, maybe not releasing. I think Grigorenko is going to be on the move, guys, because he really, you look at his last season, he only had 27 points, actually. Although he's 86 overall, and those are decent stats, it's just like the actual offensive stats, not the attributes, but the stats, they're not good enough. So, Stanley Cup champions, San Jose Sharks, Calder Cup champions, the Manitoba Moose, the former Canucks farm team, like the 2010, or like 2006 to 2013, 2012 season, something like that. It might have actually been earlier for the Moose. But let's see. Where's the draft ending up? Vancouver's 8th. Philadelphia ended up getting the first overall pick. The Islanders get the 2nd. Buffalo gets the 3rd. Toronto gets the 4th. Chicago gets the 5th. So Philadelphia has the first. They had a couple defensemen like Provorov and Ghost, who I was looking at possibly even getting. And if they drafted a defenseman, that makes a lot more sense. Creef, apparently the young guy doesn't want to play for the team anymore, which he didn't in the first place. But okay, anything else? Let's go. I'm not going to forget about the goalies this year. Gaborik, we'll go by games played first because that shows more of the actual veterans. Nash, Kessler, Brent Burns. So he's 88 overall. He already decided to retire. Okay. Erat, I thought he already retired. Guess not. Pavelski, he's 89. Wow, the Sharks lost quite a few guys that could still play. That's unfortunate. Steve Ott, the legend in our Detroit GM mode. Yeah. Points. There's the points to see who the top point guys were that left. There's quite a few good big names here. Backus, Koivu, and Kessler. Camilleri as well. Goalies, let's go check. Is there anybody there? Ryan Miller. So he decides to end off his career in the free agency. I guess he couldn't get signed. Ward Anderson, Howard Emery, and there you go. Al Montoya. Still dreading that 10-0 loss he had this year. Real life. So, updated trading block before heading in. These guys are on the block. Trouba we're going to keep. Johnson we can keep on there. There's not much else I'm going to do. All the guys that I would be looking to trade. I'd try and trade Grigorenko because he's probably an RFA. We'll see what happens, though, there. Let's go quickly check out the playoff champions, though, and the awards. Or at least how the playoff tree happened. So Nashville lost to St. Louis lost to San Jose, and San Jose won the cup. So we lost to the team that lost to the team that lost to the team that won the cup. Not great. Yeah, there's your playoffs of 2020. So we were in year 5. We're going into year 5 after this. This is going to be a big year. Probably the last season I think I'm going to do, just because I want to get on into the next GM mode. We have already won a cup, but it'd be nice to see if we can still win another one in this for this franchise. But I mean, you guys can let me know if you want me to do another year even after this. If you guys are really enjoying this series, then we can wait and even longer to do stuff. I also have to get rosters ready and like thumbnails and stuff like that. So there's the goals. McKinnon was our top goal scorer. He's always been pretty consistent because Habs fan, you were saying. A little bit shout out here. You said he wasn't playing that well. I agree with the points wise. He actually only had 160 point season with us, even as a 90 overall. 27 goals, 31 goals. He has been one of our biggest goal scoring threats though. And I mean, although he didn't perform in the playoffs, I mean, Duchesne didn't perform just as much. If you look at where he is, he's older. And although he came off a pretty nasty season, 6 games, 1 assist, and -1. He had 15 shots, but it was not acceptable. I mean, it was a tough team, so I wouldn't want to blame all of it on, obviously, Duchesne. But I like our centers. Our team has won the cup before. I'm not going to trade a 24-year-old center who just won the cup 2 years ago with this team. There's no reason you need to do that. Unless we are getting that defenseman, which I did consider, but just it wasn't worth it for me. Anything else? Rantanen could be coming up in a bit. But if you look at this, Marchand, he had 22 goals, 46 points. He actually had a really significant drop-off point-wise. He had 40 assists pretty much all these other years. That's probably where he got all of his points. Again, it's still a stellar goal-scoring year and all that, but he also could be on the move. We may have to just release him, or I'll try and sign him for a bit of cap room. Turris is back to 88. That's actually really nice to see. So that does open up a spot to trade McKinnon and such, but I think I'll pass on that. I'd rather keep McKinnon and Duchesne for now. Is there any other thing we won the cup with these guys before, so maybe if we give him one more chance. But I mean, you look at this Grigorenko past 2 years, he's just slowed down. Like it's not really good. He only had 120 goal season and he's never hit 40. Well, he had 47 points that 1 year, but. It's just, I don't know. You guys, I might have to leave Marchand and Grigorenko to the next episode. I don't know. You guys can let me know. But for sure, don't worry. We will be trading for a defenseman. Let's get into the draft. We've already wasted about 10 minutes here. So let's get right. Oh, wait. Sorry. Plot twist. We're not doing that. We're going to awards. I just thought of that. Team awards. And let's see. Sharks win the Stanley Cup. President's Trophy goes to Nashville. And then obviously Boston and San Jose in the finals. Jumbo Joe versus former team. But Jumbo Joe wasn't there. Probably in the stands. Art Ross Trophy goes to Patrick Kane. Hart Memorial goes to Patrick Kane. James Norris goes to Eric Carlson. Lady Bing goes to Patrick Kane. Carl Memorial goes to Roop Hintz. I believe that's his first name. Conn Smythe goes to Martin Jones. Vezina Trophy goes to Jonathan Quick. William N. Jennings goes to what the heck? I saw Comrie, and I thought Jake Comrie for some reason, and it wasn't from Jake Allen, it was right below him. But anyways, Connor Hellbuck and Eric Comrie win the William and Jennings this year. I just said William. Bill Mashton goes to Jakub Chychrun, also a guy I was looking at for a defenseman, but we'll see. Frank J. Selke Trophy goes to Patrice Bergeron for second year in a row. He's still kicking in at probably in his later 30s. Ted Lindsay goes to Patrick Kane, and Maurice Richard Trophy goes to Patrick Kane. He just killed it. There's the AHL awards. Obviously, the Manitoba Moose won the trophy for the top team. We were actually the best regular season team in in our division, so that's nice to see. Any big name players that come available? No. Oh, we got Malak on there. So involvement in the community. That's awesome to hear. We got a stellar defenseman in Nicholas Malak. He's in the community. Okay, so let's start the draft. I am taking way too long. It's already I said it'd be a long video. I just wanted to explain to you guys, but we got lots of stuff going on. So let's see if there's actually anybody who wants to trade away their top pick, like Philadelphia. This could be interesting. Let's go and see what we have to draft possibly. And what do you know? That's a medium elite defensive defenseman, 20 years old, Steven Lutz. That could be really good. Again, it's not a puck moving defenseman. Steven Horkoff. Two-way defender, but not as good potential and all that. We got a center playmaker, Raymond Wolski. He's 18 years old, and his passing could be 88. His deking is guaranteed 83. A goalie, Johnny Tamira, Hanu Nokalainen, a couple defensive defensemen. So, is there any defenseman that we should draft? Maybe not those guys, but I did actually capture a couple guys. Like, I don't know, this guy, he's sort of like basically a 90 overall in the third, fourth round. That's what I love about this draft. Like, you can just find these steals. Andrew Bennett, also another one, left-handed, fourth, fifth round, and he's got some crazy stats in there. So I'll look to draft those guys. Let's see if we can make a deal here, because it's likely they'd be drafting a defenseman or trading for a guy. What's the trade value for Provorov and guys as such? 89 overall, 23 years old. You guys are probably saying I should go for this guy. And I think I mentioned him. I might have mentioned him in one of my other episodes, but maybe not. Goalies, I just saw a name there. Still lots. Yeah, they got some goalies there. Draft position-wise, I mean, it's less, tiny bit less value, but Provorov is insane. But they don't want to give him up. So I wouldn't want to give him up either. It's not really fair. But if we can actually make this work, let's just take a gander for a second. Johnson, Vorbev. They want Vorbev. That might have to be a guy who moves. Bgrass is 83. It looks like he's topped off. Malak, Sproul. We have quite a few good defensemen here, so we could move out one if we are getting this guy. Bgrass, I think, could move. Young-ish. I wouldn't want to move him, but I mean, I don't think he's been happy either. Like Patan. Oh no, no, I remember him. It's Patan was the guy who didn't like that. We're gonna keep Bgrass because he's played stellar for us in the past. I really would like to see how Vorbev goes, but we might have to trade him as well. Zadarov, you guys were saying we got to move him, but once again, friends with lots of guys, and he's a top 6 defender, so his value actually went down. I wouldn't want to trade him. Johnson, okay. Games, okay, I just didn't press. I was going to say the game is really taking a long time to load Johnson, but we didn't actually put him in there. So we're okay. First round pick, we could trade that to move up, and a second. I think that would be fair. They're over the cap. Great. To get the first overall pick. Do we actually want this guy, though? Is there any guys with cap for like 1 year that we can take on? We got Gudas and we got Weiss. So we'll take on Weiss. There you go. League approved. That actually looks like a go through. So they're getting a really stellar defenseman who's played very well for us, Johnson, in the past. Is there anybody else that we can let go just because it is a bit of a one-sided trade? But they do want to give up the first overall pick, and they're getting a great defenseman and another first-round pick to move down. Again, a lot of you guys are probably in the comment section saying, "Oh, that's not fair." I understand that it's a first overall pick, but they do want to give it up. So, defenseman. I mean, we could get Stance. I don't know if you guys are into that or such, but I'll slow down for a second. I'm gonna check a couple teams that I was interested in. Carolina was a very good team, and Noah Hanifin was who I was looking at. We also got him in our Vancouver GM mode, so I'm gonna pass on that. I looked at Chitram before, but I don't think that Arizona would be willing to give him up. They have a lot of. They don't have many defensemen. Is what I meant. So LA doesn't want him. It's a Western Conference team, and I was looking towards possibly Kai Steen or even Korpikari, 2 first overall picks. Callie Steen, he's a top 2 defenseman now, 90 overall. It just doesn't make sense for them to give him up, especially with Doughty at 30. I don't know. That doesn't make sense. Maybe Korpikari, but it doesn't look like there's any. You know what, guys? I'm going to try and go for the first overall pick because this guy had really good trade value. He's a defensive defenseman. We could really change him to a 2A defenseman if we want him to, and I'm sure his stats aren't that one-sided. I don't know. You guys can let me know what you think. Let's go for the first round pick, and we got to put in Wiese, I believe, again. So let's add in a second for next year to boost this, just to make it fair and also to make it go through. Right wingers, let's get in Dale Weiss. We're gonna make this trade go through. A defenseman is the guy we're getting. Wow, Radulov is so frustrated. Maybe he's gonna go back to the KHL. Yeah, I think that's it. Do we want to add in a different guy like Ennis? No. We're just going to take on Weiss for now. And that should be good. A first round pick for a first, a second, and Johnson. Well, let's see. I really wouldn't want to give that up. Got to make it somewhat fair. You know what? I take it back. It's a second round pick. We're going to be a pretty good team next year. I think you guys don't like it. We're going to be a good team next year. This first round pick doesn't matter. We're moving up to trade away a contract in Johnson, and this guy should be ready. He had some high stats. So let's see. Johnson, a first and second for that defenseman and the first overall pick, basically, and Dale Weiss. Will it go through? And if I didn't accept this offer of yours, the Philadelphia Flyers fans would call for my resignation. This is a no-brainer. Say yes to you. So obviously we overpaid a lot, but that's what we got to do for a first overall pick. This guy should be good. Guys, I don't think a defenseman, trading for a defenseman is the best thing. I think drafting these guys is not only great for just foundational purposes, like you actually draft this guy, you use a purpose, but I think it makes the most sense. So we could get this 2A defenseman in Horkoff, but this guy has the higher stats as a defensive defenseman. If you looked at Kai Steen, he actually has he had insane offensive awareness and shot. So defensive defenseman can still be offensive. Just take Shea Weber, for example. There you go. So is it correct? Steven Lutz. Welcome to the Colorado Avalanche. And there you go. Medium elite defensive defenseman. Okay, so a franchise goalie there. That was... You couldn't have really checked that out, like actually known that was going to happen necessarily. And Horkoff is a medium elite too. So we got to check out Buffalo. We could check out all these teams just because we have the chance to. So Chicago, Toronto, Buffalo, Islanders. Chicago, Toronto, Buffalo, Islanders. I'm not going to remember that. Holy moly, so many elites. Oh, I saw the sniper. Elite. Oh my goodness. Wow, Purcell. Low elite. Okay. There's still elites. Wow, goalie. Well, goalies usually medium elites, even in the later round. Okay, so it's starting to drop off a bit. Let's go sim to our next pick. We have a second round pick, so that would be very nice. I need to make sure I get those other guys. We do have a later round pick, I believe. Yeah, okay, so it's only 16, so we can draft. And there's quite a few, like four yellow, but there's also 3.5 yellow and 3.5 red, I believe I saw. So maybe we can draft an enforcer, Shanahan. Maybe. That'd actually be very interesting. Let's wait, though. Wisniewski, Vetturil, some stellar stats, and a center, a right winger, power forward. Ooh, Andrew Funk. Uptown funk you up. Uptown funk you up. James Doig, Matthias Trieg, or the Baines stand-up, Jared Baines. 20 years old, Victoria Royals. Dustin Cahill, some stellar stats in there, but lower, so we can't really tell. Robidas, Okay, so let's go make sure that we're gonna get this guy, the defenseman. Yeah, he's third to fourth round, so we should be able to draft him. I'm gonna say let's draft a goalie. We don't know much about him. He's 20 years old, but the goalie, just because you need a goalie for the future, right? Actually, no, we got Plekhanov, but it doesn't hurt. Let's go draft a goalie here, boys. And we got Jared Baines, a medium starter, so not bad at all. And Cahill was a medium bottom six. So glad I didn't get him. Let's go and get those two defensemen. Those are going to be our next two picks. And then if you want, we can actually probably just sim like the rest of the stuff here. Okay, so the two defensemen are still available. We'll take the one that was available here, the right-handed guy, Osborne. There you go. Let's draft him. And he's medium top six, so that's stellar. He's going to have great stats and possibly NHL. NHL, he's born. He's Osborne to be in the NHL. He was born. No, doesn't float your boat. Let's see. This guy, Callie Hornquist. Okay, not the greatest stats. No, we're going to take this other defenseman, Bennett. High 70, maybe he's a medium top six. And he's a medium top six. Look at that. So great stats and possibly solid potential. And I've seen top sixes get to decent overall. So that's awesome to see. Will Wild. We have another pick here. We could be just skipping the rest of the draft, but I'm actually going to just pick here because it doesn't hurt. Just to make sure you get a stellar player. This guy, Lankow, sniper, some stellar stats in there. I don't like AHL bottom six, so I'm going to pass on that, though. Defensive defenseman, Turco, center playmaker, not great in the depth rounds necessarily. Voracek, playmaker. Byers, some stellar stats, but the potential isn't quite there. Let's go up higher. A couple of guys I saw. Vicola. There's a couple goalies here. Another stand-up, Samuel Eves, Rob Sharp, Solani, Tommy Solani. Let's go with the goalie, 19-year-old Finnish goalie, a bit smaller. Is there a bigger goalie? There's Rob Sharp, but he's 20. Yeah, let's go with Sharp. He's the biggest goalie. He's 20 years old. Let's see if we can get a stellar goalie in him. He's AHL fringe starter. Okay, so he's fringe starter. I saw the AHL fringe, and then I saw the AHL backup for the other ones, so I just thought maybe he's the better bet. But that's okay. Let's keep on going. Bolt is a 7th round pick, so we can draft him with our next pick if we want to. AHL top 6. Is there anything else? I'm not seeing much. 7th, the Vorbev, Weeman. I find that the guys have better potential if they have better stats, and Bolt doesn't. Even as a bottom 6, he might be a low bottom 6 player. I don't really want to try that. I'd rather take a gander at some of these other guys. Patrick Hodges, 7th round stand-up defenseman. Tarnstrom, Subban. Is there anybody here? I'm just going through quick and checking out the stats. Sorry for taking so long, guys, but I hope you guys understand this. These guys are still 7th rounders. Playmaker, Bob Canzanel, but he's a center playmaker. Karpotsev and Benson, grinder. How about that other grinder over here? HL top 6, center grinder. Doesn't hurt. Let's take a chance on him. Actually, probably would have rather taken the winger, but he's a bottom 6 forward, so not horrible, but not also not great. I know it was a 6th round pick, but that doesn't hurt. Just taking the guys that are there. We can actually get that other grinder. No, that's the undrafted guy. Let's go and maybe see if we can get anything else exact. Naslund, but there's some stellar stats in Jake Kamachi. Naslund actually has some pretty solid stats too. Same Malinin. Oh no, I want to take Kamachi, another defenseman, AHL top 2 exact. So he might be 70. He could be, but yeah, I didn't think so. Okay. He might be able to play in the AHL, so doesn't hurt. There wasn't much else left, as you could see with the last couple picks. So we got a 1st overall pick in Lutz. That's crazy. You'd think it's more hyped up, but we just want that Stanley Cup. That's all we're really thinking about. So hopefully he will help us out. Hopefully he's NHL ready. I know you guys really wanted a guy to go in there right now, but for now we're just going to have to play Bigras, Trouba, or Zadorov, one of the guys. Or we sign someone. You guys can choose. We're at 24 minutes, so it's actually not that bad. We should be able to do re-signs. Neuwirth is 32. He wants a stellar contract. Backup, Plekhanov. Plekhanov should be ready, and we have lots of cap space, but we have to sign a couple guys. Let's see these backups. Let's release them. Kyle Kaiser, 71 overall. Werner, a couple guys here. This guy should be ready. Baines, and we can just let these guys sit for a bit though, because only Werner and Plekhanov are ready. Newverth didn't have a great second time there. Season stats weren't great, but playoffs he played a bit, and that one time he did have that really good run. 32 years old. Medium starter. We'll wait. We'll wait. Barry, that's the big one. So let's see, 4 years. So he'll go till 32 at $6 million. That's a great contract. Wow, 4 years. He'll be 32, and we might be able to take even a bigger decrease. He just wants to give us a shot at winning. So he's taking a big cap hit. So I think 6 million for no. We got a chance to get him for less years, and less money. So let's do that. 5.75. We'll see if that works out. Trouba, longer term contract. He wants even more, 6 million. So we'll go for 3 years for sure. He's a big part of this team actually. He's definitely improved. So 4.6 if we can do that for 3 years. Bgrass, he's a top 6 defenseman, but he still wants 4 million. Just because of his potential, and he has played well for us in the past. 2 years doesn't hurt, and we can move that down to about probably 3.6, but we'll go 3.5 if we can. You guys may be a bit shaky on that, but I mean, he's one of our best defensemen. And look at that. We have 3 stellar guys. Okay, did I not draft beautifully here? 3 top 6 defensemen plus Sproul. And I mean, we actually have a really big problem. 3 years. I mean, he played stellar, so I may have to wait on him. Let's sign these guys, though. We gotta sign them. That's crazy. We got 3 great defensemen. Gotta sign them all. Malak, we gotta sign so many guys. 2 years left. Wow, 8 years, 4.5. We got some stellar defensemen, boys. We got lots of decisions to make. Maybe that would have meant that Bgrass should have left, but you know what? I'm gonna pass on that. Sproul, although he played great during the season, I'm not sure he was the biggest impact during the playoffs. -1, didn't get any offense. I'm going to release him because we have lots of defensemen. Biega, I'm going to release him because he's 32. Morrow, he could play in the AHL potentially. No, he wants a 1 year contract, or 2 years for one way. I'll pass on that. Westland, he's always been a stellar AHL player for us. We'll get him for 2 years. Weegar, we can sign him as well, 2 years. We got Bartlett, Siemens. We're gonna release Siemens because he's been with our organization for a while. Just let him pass on. Komachi, stellar overall, but not quite potential. We'll give Grigorenko the shot though. Shimanenen, we're gonna release him. Not quite enough potential. Jonathan Smart, we're gonna pass on him. Sorry, bud. Right wings, Grigorenko. So he's going to want 3 years, and he's going to want, if you go longer, even 6 million. I'm going to qualify him for now and see what you guys think about him. We may have to trade him and then get a different forward. I wouldn't be opposed to doing that. Como's 34, but as a depth player, I'd love to bring him back. He's a great player. Let's wait, though, because the cap hit isn't great. Weiss, 2 years left at 2.3. I'd rather take Como. Hyman as a depth guy, yep, we'll take him. Thorell, he doesn't need to be signed. Sislo is 32. Nazarov, I just want to show you guys because there's lots of stuff to do. Nazarov, we can sign. I think I gave him a 3-year contract, but that's okay. Let's see. Marchand, he's 32. He wants 4 years at 5.2. That's a stellar contract. You may be able to move that, work it down to 4.6. I'm going to leave that for the next episode. Rantanen, I think we should definitely still play him. He did have a stellar year last year, but we'll qualify him. Just to make sure that we can at least trade him, even though it's not much trade value, but I'll take it. Raffle, I believe 1 year, but cheap. I'll just pass on him. Bork, always played stellar for us. Even though he's one way, I will take it because he's usually a depth guy for us. Daly, doesn't look like he's going to grow, but we're going to have to play him if he wants to grow. Gerby, 32, so we'll release him. Centers. Kruger played great for us. 2 years at a cheap deal. I'd take that for sure. Ben Smith, what does he want? He wants a 2-way deal, so I'll give him that. He wants to stay with the team, right? So this guy, Nicholson, we'll have to play him more. I'm not sure if he'll have as much of a spot. I accidentally qualified Biggs. I'll just sign him for the AHL for like 1 year. That way he's not here forever. just to provide some depth. Barry, why do I keep on qualifying him? Stop. I really don't need him to be qualified. But we'll sign him, okay? Because it's a Barry, right? Now let's not. Okay, he's not even an RFA, so it's not like I can dodge it. I'm talking really fast, guys. Hope you guys enjoy. Nuvrith, can we sign him? I'd rather try and sign Como. I think. So let's go try and sign Como. 1.65. Let's see if that works out. Goalies, it doesn't hurt because he is still pretty stellar. Let's see if we can get him down to 1.475 for 1 year. And if he wants to stay with the team, he can. I'm not going to take it away from him. He has played good for us in the past, and got to give him a chance. Advanced date, we'll see what happens. Not too bad for length. Jacob Trouba signed. That's awesome. Got him for a better deal. Kruger signed. Como rejected, but Barry, that's a big one. You got him for a great cap. He's gonna be a big thing. Not too happy being on this team anymore. I think it may be time to go our separate ways. You didn't like playing a depth role, did you? I'd actually like to keep Bork, so if we can keep you, bud, I hope it works. But I mean, I do respect him for what he wants to do. I would love to re-sign him, so maybe I'll give him one more contract, give him a chance, maybe give him a tiny bit more money, because he has been stellar for us in the past, and I'd love to have a playoff performer like him in there. Marchand is not ready to be signed. Como, he wants cheaper, so we'll try 1.7. Hopefully that works. And then Bork, you want to come back on the team. He wants 2 years left. Can we give you 1 year at $1 million? I will do that. I hope he resigns because he, once again, very big part of this team from the past. I mean, had that big game winner that sent us to the Stanley Cup, and then we sweep Pittsburgh. So, spoiler alert for you guys who didn't decide not to do that. Not enough to entice me to come back. Bork is okay though. We do have a lot of depth forwards. Como, just cap wise, 17 million cap. You know what? It doesn't hurt. He's great. Let's just see how many forwards we have first. 1, 2, 3, 4, possibly 6. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We have a lot of forwards. Thank you for your time, Como. I hope you find a team that wants to play for your last bit of time. I just assumed he would probably be a fourth liner going into the next season. Player morale. Let's see. We got one meeting to do. Varlamov. Trading away Eric Johnson was a tough pill to swallow. I have to agree with you, dude. It was a hard decision. I'm sorry it affected you that way. Okay, it's not affected either way. That's okay. I can kick that cord out of the way. And there you go, boys. So it's a much longer episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys think that the trade was a good idea, or to get the first overall pick. Again, I did search a bit, and you guys didn't see it quite enough in depth, but I did look for some guys. A lot of trade value for a top 2 guy. I think I like keeping the team sort of intact. So, excuse me, holy crap. That's it. So, hope you guys enjoyed once again. And in the next episode, we'll go and do the free agency. And so, big question: do we sign Marchand, Grigorenko, Rantanen? Who needs to stay? Who needs to go? Who needs to get traded? Marchand, I'm not signing and trading. So it's either we keep him or we don't. Anyways, guys, hope you guys enjoyed. 3rd time in a row. And I'll see you guys in the next one.